Jeff, you guys into like a mock game week this week? How's it?
Exactly what it is, just what we do normally. So, got scout teams organized and get some good Kennesaw looks and some good Kennesaw work. So, it's a very mature practice by a really mature football team. And we got better. We got some mistakes. We got some things we got to clean up. Obviously, it's our first day to really work just on Kennesaw. So, but the mentality of the team and the way they went out there with a purpose, and scout teams are so professional. Scout team coaches, everybody just did a really good job today. And I repeat, we got a long ways to go. We're not there yet, but we took a step today by having a great practice.
Jeff, how has J.J. Sparkman settled in here through preseason, and what's your expectations for him this year?
Yeah, he's the guy. I've said this there's about 7 of those kids that if they had been here longer, they'd be single-digit guys. Their mindset is that way. Their athletic ability is that way. They just got in here so quickly that they didn't call it a fair shake, whatever you want to call it. But he'd be one of those guys I would say is cut from that cloth. High character, high IQ. Known him for a long time, so I'll have a great relationship with JJ. And I think as the year progresses, he'll continue to get better and better, and you'll see him get more and more involved as the year progresses.
How high do you prioritize that when you guys are recruiting, whether it's incoming freshmen or transfers, that they profile like somebody who could fit in right away and potentially be in the mix for that sort of thing?
Well, for every one of them, Greg, but unfortunately you don't get all the ones you want. You just you do your very best, but ideally you'd like every one of them to have high IQ, high character, really good football players. But we don't win every recruiting battle. But we do our best to bring in every player just like that.
I think we're talking to Bentley today. What did it mean to you to see him get voted into that single-digit group?
Just how far he's come. I mean, you went from a guy that was just trying to learn and install and try to get some personal life habits to make him a really good functioning human being, to a guy now that's one of the leaders that's just taken an unbelievable turn in maturity. And I hate it. He's had to play opposition the last 2 years. He's done a fantastic job at tackle, but he's, his next chance to play at the National Football League is going to be inside, interior. So we hope, our tackles can stay healthy this year, and we can leave Bentley inside where he's more natural.
I was going to ask about that split. Has he worked exclusively at guard through the fall?
Yes, he has.
How do you feel about the tackles group who sort of emerged or stood out there so far?
Obviously we're hoping we can get Mekhi back to what he used to be. He's working towards that. We feel really good about Jay and Kamar. Those guys have done well. Buffalo, Jonah, all those guys have competed well out there. We can always move Meach back out there if we need to. And Big Purr, DeAndre has looked good out there as well. So we feel good. And that position's always a tough position because you're out there on that island. When you're inside, there's a lot more help available.
We talked a lot about Buffalo at this time last year, and then he didn't end up seeing the field much. Was there an injury situation there, and how are things different for him this year?
He's just matured. He's gotten older and gotten stronger in the weight room. So he'll be in the mix.
You want to tell us a starting quarterback or no?
Yeah, at the Kennesaw game, on that very first drive, when they run out there, you'll go, hey, there's a starting quarterback. We're going to keep rotating 1s and 2s. We play so many players, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I know some of you guys love that we do that, and some of you guys hate that we do that. But we play a lot of people. So we try to rotate 10 offensive linemen in a game. We try to rotate 8 receivers, 3 running backs, 4 tight ends. And so it doesn't really matter if you're going with the 1s or 2s with us, because we play so many kids interchangeably. And I understand there's pluses and minuses to everybody's system. That's just the system we believe in.
You guys unveiled a new kind of all-black uniform yesterday. What were your thoughts when you saw that unveiled?
It was a perfect little pick-me-up for the kids. I mean, JT's been driving that bus for a long time, so he had been in my office driving me insane about it. So we worked out a way, financially, with some gifts, some boosters, and pulled that off. And the kids were really excited. And obviously we'd all like to have as many jerseys as possible, but there's still budgeting issues at stake, and you just got to prioritize. There's a day I'd like to have a camo uniform for Military Appreciation Week. You'd like to kind of theme that thing out each week. It's just expensive. And but I think we're getting to the point now with our fans, we could sell those things back and get our money back and keep doing that. So I hope that's a road we can travel down and continue to. I know the fan base is really excited because I've been getting blown up like crazy. And our social media team did a really good job of getting that out there. And kids are excited. You know, that's what this is about. And we're all still undefeated right now, so it's all fun.
With the ability to use the tablets between the series this year, does it change the thought process on whether a coordinator's better off upstairs or on the field? Do you guys reconsider that part at all?
You know, I think just for logistics of how to, you know, to use it and look at it, it'd be better to be up the top. So, but they're only a phone call away. I mean, we're on the headset with them, so I doubt we're going to bring Burke down or put Lep up. We'll continue doing what we've been doing. So Lep will be down, Burke will be up.
Jeff, you guys got the kickoff luncheon at the end of this week. Just how important is that for the team and just the program overall?
You know, I was more than shocked last year how nice it was. I'd always heard how good a job Bob and Peggy do at putting on those events, but I was blown away. Of course, you know, I know I've converted to the Saints since my son works there, 6 years, but I'm diehard Dallas Cowboy, like diehard. So I've been told I get to ask Emmett some questions. But Chuck is the one that's going to be up there with us. So yesterday I was telling him what questions I wanted to ask, and he was like, "Jeff, that's a little probably too personal, too Dallas Cowboy fanboyish to be asking those questions." So I might have to make my questions more. I can't be like you and Greg and just ask whatever the heck I want to. I got to be more politically correct. I don't want to make Emmett mad, but things I wanted to know from Emmett. I was diehard Cowboys. They hurt me so many times. But it was a great run with him and Troy and Mike, and all that was just fun. I've got all those Super Bowls still. You know, I was that guy that cut the newspaper articles out and have them in glass, you know, and I can still remember I had them in my bathroom, and the little bathroom Carrie let me have. I had my own little stall over there, and I had all 3 of those Super Bowls up. Still got those things. She wants to throw them away, but they're like precious to me. So I was fanboy, and when they let Jimmy go, you know, it broke my heart, man. So I'm still for the Cowboys, but I don't lose sleep anymore like I used to, like you, JJ.
So on the NIL side of the luncheon, this is a pretty big event for the fundraising, right?
Yeah, it's our biggest event. There's no doubt. It's our biggest fundraiser, and again, and Martin and April and Pat have jumped in and helped, like so many people have, to buy tables and buy tickets, and you know, it's just a really good deal for our kids. And I told y'all 3 years ago when this started that if we're going to get in the game, we got to do it. We've tried to be creative and come up with ideas that make our community proud. I know this kickoff luncheon, there are a lot of people that aren't even like for NIL, but they don't mind buying a table and they love coming to watch a good event. So it makes them feel better about it. We've tried hard to model that in everything that we've done, from Martin's idea of just community service and April's of us we're out there serving, to Bob and Peggy's of doing, you know, events. And our kids obviously do some work for them as well. I think it's been a good little partnership so far, but we're going to have to continue really moving. I mean, I saw today where, you know, Tulane's got a nice little deal they're doing, and it's an arms race, and now you can have 105 players on scholarship, so it's not even 85 anymore. So now you got 20 more, and it's heavy, it is, but it's worth it. I mean, football in San Antonio is a very, very popular thing. It's good for our city. It puts UTSA even in a larger spotlight, which is a good thing. And we just got to keep working.
All right, Jeff.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.